Hey, what's up, everyone? Jay with Dad Things here. Today, I wanted to talk about mental health, the importance of mental health, the importance of taking care of yourself, and things that I do to help with my mental health. Uh, I guess my mental health journey, started back in 2010. I was on my way back from Vegas. It was my 30th birthday, and on our way back, I started feeling like a pain in my chest, and I didn't know what it was. It felt like, like pins and needles, like when your arm or your leg falls asleep. But it started from the middle of my chest, and it kept spreading out from there. And at first, I didn't think much of it. I just started taking a few deep breaths, thinking that, maybe I was just tired. We're on our way back from Vegas, but it kept going and going and spreading out. Eventually, to my upper chest and down my arms. I could feel it like literally going down my arms. And I remember my roommate was driving at the time. His girlfriend was in the passenger seat, and I told them, I was like, guys, I don't feel too good. And since we were coming from Vegas, they thought that I had just had a long weekend, and that the alcohol was getting to me. But I was like, no, guys, I don't think it's that. And then from that point on, I don't remember much, but my vision was, I had tunnel vision. I couldn't see anything to the side of me, and anything that I could see in front of me was all blurry. My sense of time was warped. I didn't know how long that actual, at this point, knowing now what I had back then, it was a panic attack. I didn't know how long it lasted. And all I remember was that I was like holding on to the chairs, the seats in front of me, and my roommate and his girlfriend, they were just telling me that everything's gonna be okay. And in the greatest coincidence of all coincidences, my buddy, it just so happened, he never told me, but it just so happened that he actually had experience with panic attacks. So he knew exactly what to do. He knew exactly what was going on. So he was telling me just to, that I was in a safe space, I was gonna get home safely, and that they were there for me. And I can't be more thankful for that he knew exactly what to do. So that really was like my first experience with anxiety and having a panic attack. And ever since then, I've dealt with some form of anxiety over the years. And it's sometimes it gets really bad, and sometimes it's just your normal, like, oh, what am I gonna, I have all these things to do today. But I knew back in 2016 or 2017, it got to the point where I didn't want to go to work. I would drive to my customers, my client's office, and I would just sit there in the car, or I wouldn't even go. I would just go to like a little strip mall that was close by, and I would just park and sit there, and I would just think, I just don't feel like working today. There's other things, I don't know if I was depressed, but I just wasn't in the mood to do anything. I didn't want to be in front of people. I didn't want to, it was just, there's nothing like, no big presentations or anything like that. It was just, I didn't feel like doing the day to day. And then it was at that point, where I started seeing a therapist. I would sit down and talk with him and tell him like what I was going through. And it's weird because I don't know if other people have, like, if their brain works this way, but sometimes it would just get so hard, just life in general, and like having kids on top of that. I would be just like driving on the freeway, and then I'd be going up in an interchange or like an off ramp, and like my mind would like go into really dark places and be like, what would happen if I all of a sudden just went like this to the wheel? Like, what would happen? Looking back now, I'm almost positive. I'm sure that it was just a lot for anybody to handle. Keep in mind that my family and I were living in the Bay Area at this point, and we didn't have any friends and family around us to help, or just to be around while we were in this stage of our lives where we just had a newborn son. So I think that had a lot to do with it. So I guess that kind of brings me to what I do now to deal with anxiety and to help with my mental health. First things first, if you have if you're not feeling well, or if you feel like you're having any sort of mental issues, see a therapist. I think that's one of the things that unfortunately is looked down upon. There's still a stigma, and luckily within recent years, a lot of famous people have stepped up and came out and said like, hey, I had mental health issues and I went to go see somebody and this was my experience. And it's cool that these people are stepping up and using their platforms to share with everybody like, hey, I'm just like you. I went through this and it helped me. You should go do it too, because it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Kevin Love, DeMar DeRozan, all these other people. There's tons of other people. The only people I can think of right now are like those basketball players. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with seeing somebody and seeing a therapist, because if you're not right here, then everything else in your life just kind of falls apart. Second thing that has helped me is being around friends, being around family, finding a support system. I didn't have that up in the Bay Area. We moved back maybe 2 years ago, and that was, we were still in the pandemic. So we didn't really have the ability to hang out with our friends. We saw family, but it was, social distanced only on the major holidays. But now that we're people have been vaccinated, we're kind of making our way through this pandemic. We're seeing family more often, been hanging out with friends, and even though it's still hard because everybody's busy, just being around friends and in person, and just hanging out and talking and kind of commiserating, or just like talking about like our lives and like, oh yeah, that happens to me too. Don't you hate it when this happens? And just like knowing that we're not alone. Everybody goes through the same type of things, whether it be through work or being a parent. It just helps so much when you know that you're not crazy and you're not the only one going through whatever you're going through. So just being around like friends and family has definitely helped me and my mental health. And I guess lastly for me would be, along with taking care of your mental health, just taking care of your physical health, because I think, I did this a lot in my 20s. I would go to the gym 3-4 times a week, religiously. And I didn't know it at the time. I just did it because I was waiting for traffic to die down after work. But, it has great side effects, side benefits to working out. Your body is in better shape. It's in great shape. You get blood flowing. Healthy body, healthy mind. That's two things that you can do for yourself, and it'll pay dividends in other aspects of your life. So I know that's something that I've kind of put to the side, just because I have more responsibilities now. But any chance that I get, I will, go outside for a walk. Yeah, even just going outside for a walk, that has like great benefits for your mental health, well-being, as well as your physical. Just getting outside and getting fresh air. But now at least once a week I'll try to go out for a walk, go out for a hike. I'll go to the gym, lift heavy weights, just do something active to get that blood flowing, just to get outside, and to, even though sometimes it does feel like a chore, it has side benefits to where it'll help you out in other aspects of your life. I also write a newsletter that I publish once a week. I'll leave a link to it in the show description or in the comments down below. Please subscribe. I publish weekly. I'll include articles, links to interesting, funny things. I'll post interesting YouTube videos that I enjoy, and most of them have some relation to do with parenting. Other things are just things I find interesting on the web. So if you're into that kind of thing, I'll leave a link to the newsletter where you can subscribe. All right, that's it for this one. If you like this video, hit the like button. It helps people find my content. If you're listening to this via podcast, leave a review in Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what you've heard or you've seen, just share it with somebody who you think might find this useful. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.